Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's pre-market analysis. We are running a bit late today. We will start in 2 minutes. We'll start soon. Give me a minute. I'll share this. We are running a bit late today. So let's start. As we are running late, we will start directly with the analysis part. So let's open to yesterday's Nifty part. Yesterday we have witnessed a very good movement in Nifty, slightly bearish after that a little bit flat to slightly bearish bullish opening, and after that a slight up was seen in Nifty up to 25,200 level, then it reversed from let's see that in clearly in chart or trading. Let me take it. Nifty. So here you can see that yesterday we were having these levels as the support resistance and the pivot point. So on the basis of pivot point only, we have just marked these support and resistance for the yesterday's. So today also we will have similar analysis. So let me mark the major levels for the day. Let's start with the pivot point. PPI for the day, I considered it to be near 25, 25.0. 80. This is exactly where the PP lies today as per yesterday's closing, opening, and the high value of high. Today's PP is at 20. Let's make it to 2100. This level let's consider. So we'll start with the support. Actually, support. The S1 will be at 25,000. So S1 will be considered at 25,000, which act as a psychological level also. We have witnessed many reversal and breakout from these levels. So these levels are considered to be, this 25,000 level is considered as to be a psychological level. So we will mark this as the first support for the Nifty for the day. And let's go to the second support. S2 will be at S2 will be at 24,900. So similarly, you can see we are back to the previous levels. So as per the yesterday's closing, so the S3 is at 24,800. So these three levels are today's support for Nifty, and also we understand that these levels are major supports in overall on a weekly basis. Also these particular levels 25,000, 24,900, and 24,800 are considered to be the particular support levels for Nifty 50. So let's mark the resistance part first. So R1 to be mounted at 25,150 level. So the resistance part will be at 24,150 at first, and R2 will be 25 270 250 range पे होगा, like R2, and R3 will be considered at 25,350 levels. So these are the levels for today's Nifty support and resistance with respect to the pivot point of the day. So this 25,000 level can be considered as a psychological level. So yesterday if we see what we discussed, that if Nifty is staying above the yesterday's pivot point, which was 25,150, if it is opening above 25 or breaking above 25,150 with a higher volume, we particularly mentioned that if it a higher volume, if it opens above 25,150 or breakout, give a breakout above 25,150, we are getting that line 25 150. So yesterday's opening candle is this. So in the first 15 minutes we can see we got a clear breakout here, but it didn't sustain above this range bound zone which we have marked at R1 25,200. So from there it got reversed and it completely touched the lower range, which was at 2550 day before yesterday's pivot line. So after it continued that momentum within the range itself yesterday. So let's mark today's zone as well with respect to the levels we have marked here. So today's pivot bullish zone. What if Nifty stays bullish? So bullish condition will be only act if stays above 25,100, which is today's PP, with a higher volume on the buyer side. So then we can consider the bullish zone. So I'll mark down the bullish zone. So 25,100, above 25,100, if it break and after that if it give a breakout above R1, which is 25,150, we can consider R2 and R3, which I will be preferring as today's bullish zone. So like 25 270, it will be the first R2 first bullish zones line, and 25 350 will be the second zone. So we have a pretty close range for the bullish zone today. So this will be the bullish zone. The condition is that if it stays above today's pivot line, which is at 25 150 150 100. So it was exactly about 25 no, not 100, 2570, 25,070, but let's round it off at 25,100. So if it is staying above this level with a higher volume, then the chances of testing 25,200, which is 25,150, the R1, and if that momentum stays there, then definitely this bullish zone are going to be and retested again. So this is the range if Nifty stays sideways. So range bound, let's say range bound. So let's consider S1 and R to be the range for the day. So I have already marked the R1 here. So let's mark S1 as well. So 25,000. So this is S1. So if Nifty acts in a range bound scenario, this zones will be continued for the day. So let's read this. Then quickly let's move on to the bearish zone. So if support 1 is being broken, which is a psychological major support level of Nifty 25,000, if it breaks down below, then S2 and S3 can be considered. 25,000 if it is broken, give a breakdown below this level, psychological level 25,000, then definitely 24,900 followed by 24,800 is the bearish zone for Nifty. So if it breaks down below the psychological level and it doesn't come back above it with a good volume, or if it doesn't sustain above 25,000, then definitely I have a bearish view in the market. So as long as it stays above this PP level with a higher volume, which is pivot point 25,100 level, then definitely I go with the bullish trend. The Nifty will be continuing the bullish momentum. So let's have a quick look at one day RSI, relative strength index. You can see here down, I have already added that. So here yesterday we have seen that it was crossing above the SMA 14 as well. So a slight bend from marking a high at nearly, you can see it 56 57 range, and then it has slight tilt and ended closed at 53. So yesterday's pulled back from this level, which is 25 200 level, marked this point. So let's see what happened with the continuation. If the bullish momentum continues, it's gonna be retesting these levels which I have marked, 25 300 to 25 350 levels. So these are the levels for Nifty. So what confirmation we should take in this particular trade is, for the day we should observe the volume. If the volumes are higher on the side of a buyer, then definitely the Nifty is going to continue its bullish momentum. So let's have a quick look at Bank Nifty as well. Nifty Bank. So these are the levels yesterday. So you can see that what happened yesterday. So this was the BP, and I have mentioned if it is staying above the pivot point with a high volume, then these levels were going to be tested, followed by the bullish zone. But it's after that first 15 minutes, then we got that reversal. Then it tested the 56,000 level and came to the bearish zone. First bearish zone was almost fully covered by the Bank Nifty. So let's mark today's levels as well. So I'll quickly mark the PP. PP pivot point will be at 56,000. So yesterday it was 56,250 range. So we have a 56,050. This is actually the exact PP. So yeah, let it be like that only. And support S1 is that 55,800, which was the previous level actually. So we consider it again with respect to the pivot point. First S1 is at 55,800. S2 it is 55 570 600 range, 570 600 range. Then S3, let's consider S3 as well, 55 350 range. This is the three support levels, and resistance is at 56 to 50. So yesterday, if we see that Nifty almost, Bank Nifty almost made a high up to 56,300. But after 15-minute candle, it got reversed. So let's consider R1 to be at 56,250 and R2 to be 56,500. This zone is a bit high. 500, 750 to be R3. This is R3. So these are the levels for today's Nifty with respect to the pivot point for the day. So let's mark the zones also out. So as long as Bank Nifty stays above 56,050 with a strong volume, then we the Bank Nifty is gonna continue its bullish momentum. So let's mark the first bullish zone of Bank Nifty. So let's consider if staying above 5650, the pivot point with a good volume, then it is going to first retest the R1, which is at 56,250. If R1 is tested and it sustain above that particular level with that same good volume, then definitely the bullish zone is going to be get activated, which is at 25 56 500, and the second zone it is 56 750. And if it stays range 1, then definitely it will be below the pivot point, as well as if 55 800, so below the pivot point, if 55 800 S1, 55 800 to 51st R1, 56 to 50. So this will be the range bound for Bank Nifty today. So we have a gap here. I'll tell you, if it is testing above this 250 level, then these bullish zones can be tested. And if it is staying below this, this is the um, range bound for the first session. And if it comes below this S1, then definitely 55 570 to 55 350 range, which I consider as the bearish zone. These levels can be tested by Bank Nifty if it's not continuing the bullish momentum. So yesterday we have witnessed a very good profit booking scenario in Bank Nifty. That's the major reason I find it that the Bank Nifty and every other indices along with the Bank Nifty have ended up in red candle actually. So these are the levels for Bank Nifty for the day. So as long as it stays above the pivot point, then definitely with a good volume. So volume matters here. So if it stays above the pivot point with a good volume, then it will continue to have the bullish momentum. So let's move on to Sensex quickly. So these were the yesterday's level. So I will just mark down today's level. Pivot point. Pivot point for Sensex today is 81,890, This will be the pivot point for the day. S1 will be at 81,450. 450 will be the S1 and S2 will be at 81,300. And S3, let's consider 89.50. So we are back to the previous levels which we had earlier in the past week. So R1 will be at 82 150 level, and R2 will be at 82,500, and R3 will be at 82,750. So these are the support resistance level for the day with respect to today's pivot point actually. So let's mark the pivot point here first. 81,900, and let's mark the bullish zone as well. We have little time only to this. So the bullish zone, if Sensex is staying above 81,900 with a good volume, then first R1 is gonna be tested, and after that, if that momentum and volume stays in the market, then definitely we are moving on to the bullish zone, which is at 82,500 and 82,750 level. This is a Sensex bullish zone, and if Sensex is gonna stay in range bound market, that definitely it will be between 81,450, which is support 1, and in between 82,150, which is resistance 1. This will be the level for range bound for the day. And if it is staying bearish for the day, so if it is coming below the pivot line and breaking S1, which is at 81,450, then definitely the second support and third support is going to be tested, 81,300 starting, and the second zone is at 89,50. This will be considered as the bearish zone for the Sensex. So any movement below this uh, 81,900, which is the pivot point for the day, with a lesser good volume on the downside, then definitely these levels first initially at the range bound, if even this range is being broken, then definitely it is going to test at the bearish zone as well. So yesterday we have witnessed this zone, this movement, similar movement, it gave a move below the PP with a good downside volume, and then it tested the bearish zone as well as yesterday. So these are the levels for Sensex, Nifty, and Bank Nifty for the day. So as yesterday we definitely need to consider the volume for confirmation for these levels. So any movement above the pivot point with a good volume, then definitely it will be a bullish uh, momentum in the market as per my analysis. So any movement below the S1 with lesser volume in the buyer side and good volume to the downside, definitely these bearish zone are going to be tested. So let's have a quick look at today's opening GIF Nifty live. We will see what's the condition of GIF Nifty. So we have GIF Nifty is running 25 points above, and we will see the FIA data, how FIA closed for the day yesterday. So FNO particularly. So FIA is net bearish. So I expect a neutral start in the market for the day. So neutral start, slightly neutral start. So we should trade with caution for the day. So volume confirmation is must. So I want everyone to manage their risk management properly and wait for confirmation for the day. So I will wind up for the day and have a good trading day. Thank you so much.